tactical, intense, Chun-Li. Rainbow Six Siege, a close quarters tactical shooter developed by none other than Ubisoft, which has brought you masterpieces such as Assassin's Creed, I guess, and now presenting Rainbow Six Siege. Siege is a game I hold near and dear to my heart, having played since Year 4 Operation Phantom Sight. However, I've noticed a transition in Siege. Many changes have occurred, small ones such as UI and graphics, to more influential changes such as gameplay and even whole character reworks. But this isn't the transition we're focusing on in this video. Oh no. What this video will focus on are big changes. Very big changes. How Siege has developed over the years. How Siege has grown as the gaming landscape has changed. How we went from Rainbow Six Siege to Rainbow Silly Siege. Over the years, Ubisoft has tried to include an overarching story to Siege. However, it never really quite hit the mark. We started with an anti-terrorism story about a group called the White Masks, a global terrorist organization that's obsessed with spreading chaos and anarchy across the globe. You play as an operator of Team Rainbow, an international counter-terrorist organization which operates on a global scale, hiring anyone skilled and determined enough to stop the White Masks. And one of the missions named Article 5. Your mission is to stop the further destruction of Bartlett University, which is under attack from the White Masks. This mission has you play inside a Bartlett University filled with mustard gas, and your goal is to defeat all the White Masks operatives and disarm their bombs. This mission perfectly captures Siege's terrorist plot. It's tense, and requires good cooperation between teammates too, completely capturing the atmosphere that Siege is trying to create.
Nothing built can last forever.
Now we have a tournament? And beef between the operators? Wait, she punched her? How we've gone from preventing a terror plot to preventing Twitter drama, I'm not too sure. Here's a quick rundown anyways. Harry, the head of Team Rainbow, wants to show the world what Team Rainbow's got. So he creates his Tournament of Champions. Teams made up of operators face off on the big stage, which feels an awful lot like this. This entire arc diverges away from Siege's darker plotline, established at the beginning, and tosses it in the trash. We didn't even get a story mission for this like we got for Article 5. Just a temporary map of the stadium and some cosmetics that fit the story. Siege has always been about counter-terrorism and held this gritty atmosphere around it. This tournament arc transitions into a character-focused narrative about their interactions and conflicts. Super soldiers having sports players' disputes. For a game like Siege, this feels unrealistic, and although it can be interesting, it isn't fitting of the trajectory that Siege was heading, or what it was built upon. Let's talk about the gameplay now. Siege, as of October 28, 2024, has 74 operators, all featuring unique and interesting gadgets, which change the way around will be played. As the game has progressed, we've gotten more and more complex operators, but let's have a look at the start. In 2015, we had 21 operators, including the default character. These operators come with very basic gadgets. We have Sledge, who carries his sledgehammer capable of destroying walls, Doc, who carries a stim pistol that heals his allies, and Thatcher, who can disable electronics. As you can see, not very complex, but that's okay. The complexity is in the gadget's interaction with other gadgets. Alongside this, the simplicity is also shown visually by their basic design. Year 3 Season 2, Operation Parabellum introduced two new characters. Alibi, who has holograms, and Maestro, who has indestructible cameras which can shoot lasers. People say this was the start of Siege's arcade shooter arc, due to the unrealistic nature of these gadgets, and since then, people haven't been the happiest about this. That was only the start. As of Year 9, we have Cool Glasses, Grapple from Titanfall, CS Opper, Mirage from Apex, the Kool-Aid Man, Viper Wall, Evil Fart Gas, and that's not even half of the new characters. These characters' gadgets break the immersion of Siege's realistic, tense atmosphere by contrasting the visual setting with bright colors and sci-fi tech. Seeing a bright laser door or a laser wall compared to the simple sledgehammer breaking down a wall, the changing complexity in gadgets visually and gameplay-wise has only increased over the years and is looking to increase as of the newest operator Scopos comes equipped with teleporting robots? Finally, let's go over the most influential change. What really caused Rainbow Silly Siege? Atmosphere. The overall vibe of Siege is different. We went from tactical camos and military grade gear to be committing war crimes. Do I really have to say why this breaks immersion? Yeah, you can one-tap Pickle Rick. I think more importantly though is that people feel the game doesn't play like what it's supposed to simulate. Siege has always featured fast-paced gameplay, where you have a single life per round. Whilst this does make the game feel intense, it strays away from the slow, methodical gameplay the game's trailers promoted and featured in other tactical shooters such as Ready or Not or Insurgency Sandstorm. The meta has been for a long time about peeked or get peeked, and killing everyone before they kill you instead of playing the game mode objective. Even when Ubisoft slowed the game down so players had to focus more on gadgetry, players complained the game was utility simulator and focused too much on clearing a pathway into the game mode objective, which resulted in boring and uninspired gameplay. Only now, Ubisoft has started making compromises between the two metas and implementing movement penalties for various actions, alongside making gadgets universally easier to destroy, so the game has a heavier focus on planning your actions ahead of time, instead of killing everyone or having to clear all operator gadgets. This has resulted in a more balanced meta, but Ubisoft could never capture the military close-quarter atmosphere Siege used to have. But what was the reason behind these changes? Why did Ubisoft decide that this was the best direction to take Siege in? Well, esports has been a big factor in the evolution of FPS shooters and the gaming landscape. We've seen a rise in the success of FPS esports, and Siege is no exception. To capture the attention of a larger audience, Ubisoft decided to branch out from Siege's core identity to cater to a generalized audience. Players from Valorant or Apex, games which have bright colors and are always moving. Siege didn't fit into this hole, so it had to adapt. That's how the plot of Siege changed. That's how the aesthetics and complexity of Siege changed. That isn't how Siege's gameplay changed. That's just because players kept getting better over time, and bad balancing changes. Good job, Ubisoft. Siege has changed throughout the 9 years it has been out, and many players such as myself still enjoy the game for all its flaws and goofiness. However, the Siege I played at 15 is different from the Siege I'm currently playing today, and the game nowadays feels like other tactical shooters. Change is good, sometimes even for the better. But what uniqueness Siege had in its concept and gameplay has now been lost. We may no longer have Rainbow Six Siege, but we will always have Rainbow Silly Siege.